residual emotion, residual feelings left over from the past. So many of us have unresolved emotions that we haven't addressed, that we haven't resolved. And they linger. They stay around for a long period of time, sometimes weeks, months, years. In fact, that's what I do for a living, is I help people unpack boxes filled with emotions from their past that they haven't dealt with. Maybe the emotion is sadness or hurt. Maybe it's from a loss that they haven't been able to completely heal from. Or maybe it's anger from negative interactions with someone from their past. Maybe it's shame or guilt, fear and anxiety. There's a ton of emotions that lie dormant in our brains. Many of us have either been unable to confront the pain and deal with those emotions, or it's been too scary and too anxiety producing for us to do it. And maybe you've had this experience before, because I certainly have had this one, where you interact with someone and that person triggers some of those same emotions from the past that you never dealt with. They might have the same personality characteristics. Maybe they're intimidating, maybe they're aggressive, maybe they're a bully, and it triggers some of that same anxiety and fear from someone in your past. Maybe it's a parent or a friend or a significant other. But those emotions get reignited in you. And unfortunately, they don't just go away on their own. In fact, sometimes the impact of hanging on to negative emotions can cause some physical problems. Headaches, muscle tension in your neck and shoulders, maybe pains in your stomach. But they can impact you in other ways that you don't even realize. Or maybe those emotions cause you to distance yourself from others, to detach and disconnect from other people because you're afraid to re-experience some of that emotional pain from the past. Everyone has some leftover, some emotional pain that they haven't completely let go of or resolved. So what do you do? What do you do with that emotion? Well, the hope is that you can eventually let it go. That's the ideal scenario. But first, you have to identify it. You have to identify the pain that you're hanging on to. And then you have to live with it. Sit with the emotion. Allow it to flow through you. I've said that on numerous occasions, and I encourage you to sit with it and let it flow through you. Maybe you want to write about it. Maybe you want to share it, directly with the person that produced the pain or caused the pain. Or maybe you want to share it with other people. Maybe you have opportunities to practice interacting with other people when that pain is reignited. And this time you deal with it differently. Maybe in the past you repressed it, you suppressed it, you held it in, and you didn't say anything. But in the present, you're going to decide, I'm going to confront the pain. I'm going to talk through the pain. I'm going to be assertive and direct and not allow that pain to fester or build inside of me. Because a lot of people have residual pain that gets lumped into the present day pain, and the reaction is a lot larger than it would normally be. So dealing with residual emotion is so important. So I said, share it. Allow it to flow through you and experience it. Write about it. Maybe you have to forgive the person from the past that produced it or caused it or contributed to that pain. It helps to understand maybe some of their experiences from their past. That helps with letting it go. That helps with forgiveness. But ultimately, you want to release it so that it doesn't consume you. It doesn't overwhelm you. And you don't spend a lot of time in self-pity or a lot of time obsessing and ruminating about pain from the past. Ideally, the objective is to be able to move forward and not be stuck in your emotional pain. So I challenge you to identify the pain that lives inside you, and it may be from the recent past or the distant past. To feel it, to sit with it, to talk through it, and ultimately to let it go. Until next time, Dr. Tony Ferretti, signing out.